another live, y'all. Make sure y'all come on in the room. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share your girl out as well. Yeah, y'all, what happens when vacation turns into a courtroom battle? Yeah, y'all. So we're talking about the $300,000 ordered settlement that Carnival has to now pay one of their passengers for a tumble right down a stairwell because they were intoxicated. Yeah, y'all heard me right. Carnival was ordered by our jury to pay $300,000 to a passenger because they were intoxicated and fell down a stairwell. Yeah, y'all. So we're gonna get into it about, is this gonna change the cruising industry? Is it gonna be the end of unlimited drink packages on the cruise? Right? Who's responsible? Right? When passengers get on a cruise ship, right? Is it the cruise line that's responsible for making sure people don't go over the limit, or do you have to have some accountability when you yourself are on these cruises? So we're going to get into it, right? So there was a nurse. She was 45 years old. She got on a cruise ship, right? We all want to get on a cruise ship and enjoy, have fun, relax, okay? Let her hair down, all of that, right? Okay? Well, on some of those cruise ships, you can get a drink package where you can get up to 15 drinks a day. Yeah, now I can't do it. I can't do it because that's a lot for me, but some people can, right? Some people's tolerance for drinks are high, right? I'm not one of those people, okay? 2 and 3, baby, I'm starting to feel it. I'm getting a little woozy. But yeah, so 15 drinks is the limit per day on your cruise packages, right? Okay, they're pretty coin. They're pretty coin, but if you can handle it or have a high tolerance for alcohol consumption, then you can get one of those 15 per day packages, right? So, all right, she got her 15 per day package. She's having a grand old time, right? She's partying. Y'all know how it is on Sailorways. If you ever been on a cruise, baby, it's lit. So, the drinks are flowing, right? Everybody's doing the electric slide, the wobble, all of that, honey. We are partying down. You're not thinking about no stress, no work, okay? No responsibilities, none of that, right? So she's throwing them back, throwing them back, throwing them back, right? She's throwing them back. Remind you, it is a part of her drink package, right? So she can drink. She can drink how she wants to, right? You have to be responsible for yourself. Right? So she's having a good time. Okay. So in an 8 hour period, okay, 8 hour period, she's had over 14 shots of tequila, right? Hi, Miss Medina. Thank you so much for coming on in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Right? So over 14 shots of tequila. Now that's a lot. Like I said, I'm not a big drinker myself. Like I said, two to three, and I'm done. I'm feeling it. I'm woozy, right? Okay. But she had 14 shots in an 8 hour period. Okay. So in her statement, she said that she was intoxicated, that the wait staff, the servers, the bartenders, right? Okay, people saw that she was intoxicated, but continued to serve her alcohol, right? So they continued to serve her alcohol. She said she was so inebriated, so intoxicated that she blacked out, and she found herself at the bottom of a crew stairwell, right? So only restricted to where the crew of the ship will go. She said she don't know how long she was there. She don't know if anyone saw that she was down there on the stairwell. She doesn't know what happened to her as well. Now, when she did come to on the cruise ship crew, she said, interrogated her like she was a criminal, right? She felt like they were against her, and she asked for video. She asked for video of what happened to me while I was on this drinking spree, right? What happened? Do y'all have video of me? She said she was presented with video prior to her falling, all right, prior to her falling down those flight of steps. But she said there's a gap. There's a missing gap of when she ended up all the way down and tumbled, right, and tumbled down those stairwells, okay, and ended up there. She has question of how long was she out for? Did anyone see her there? Okay, what happened? Did anything happen? Right, strange, weird, right? Did someone approach her? Did someone attempt to help her while she was laying on the floor, right? There's a lot of questions, a lot of questions. So she said when she couldn't get any answers and no type of resolution with Carnival Cruise Line, she opted to get herself a lawyer. And that's when they brought the case to court. She decided to do a jury trial, and the jury decided that Carnival was 60% liable. Yeah, y'all, 60% liable, all right, for her falling down those flight of steps, right? And that she was 40% accountable, right? Okay, for falling down the steps. So as they're looking at her injuries, right, she said she had a possible traumatic brain injury. She had a concussion. She had a headache. She had bruises. She had back pain. All right. She had a bruised tailbone, right? She had so much going on the cruise ship that they decided to award her $300,000, right, in the jury trial. Ooh. Now, if I was Carnival, right, I'm not too happy about that, right? Now, Carnival said that that is not going to be sitting well with them. They're stating that there's no way that they should be held liable for an adult, okay, that is supposed to govern themselves when they're drinking on a cruise ship, right? They said they cannot control how much someone drinks on a cruise ship. You bought a 15 per day drink package. You have a right to drink a 15 per day drink package, right? They don't have restrictions in place on how often you should be able to get served a drink. They don't have a 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour limit in between the drinks, right? So they don't have those type of rules, right? Okay, so this vacation has turned into a courtroom battle, right? Okay, like I said, so the little bit about the passenger, she's 45 years old. And you think 45 years old, right? You know yourself at that point, right? You know how much you can drink. Like I said, my tolerance for drinking is small. I can do about 2 or 3 shots, and I know I'm feeling it. I know in the world I can do 15. No way, right? I wouldn't be able to do it, right? She said she took more than a dozen, y'all. A dozen tequila shots. That is wow, right? She said she blacked out. She didn't know where she was at. Now, I'm not clear if she was with anyone. Maybe this was a solo cruise, right? Want to go on vacation, get away from the kids, get away from the fiance, the husband, the spouse, right? Get away from work and decompress, right? Because, nursing is a very stressful career, stressful job, right? So maybe she wanted to get loose and let her hair down, right? All of that. Hi, Marina Latrina. Thank you so much for coming on in, Queen. Yes, child, we're talking about this $300,000 settlement that Carnival was ordered to pay a passenger, right? Because she was intoxicated and fell down a flight of stairs, right? So it's crazy. So we're getting into it, talking about how your vacation turns into a courtroom battle, right? So we're talking about that. Yeah, so she fell down a flight of stairs, baby, and walked out of there with a $300,000 payout, baby. Because you talking about she picked the right ship to go home. Yes, Marina Latrina, $300,000. She decided she didn't like how Carnival was talking to her, treating her. She said she wasn't getting any resolution on the cruise ship. So she decided to get herself a lawyer and take it to trial. And the jury said Carnival Cruise Line was 60% liable for her getting hurt, falling down the stairs, but she was 40%. She was 40% liable for her being inebriated and intoxicated, right? Because she chose to, hey, drink over 12 tequila shots, all right, in an 8-hour period. Ma'am, something's going to happen to you, all right? You're going to be knocked out, blacked out. Something's going to happen, right? Well, they definitely got the money's worth. Exactly, Marina Latrina. She said she was going to get every last penny of that drink package, honey. She got her money's worth. She really did. Because they got all of mine. Exactly, Marina Latrina. Yeah. They will get all of your money. They sure will. They sure will. My mom, your mom. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on in the room. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Right? Okay. So this is a courtroom battle, y'all. This was Miss Diana Sanders versus Carnival Cruise Line, baby. She said, we're going to take this to trial. I'm going to have me a jury. All right. I'm going to have me a jury because I'm not satisfied with how y'all treating me. Y'all fitting to pay me for all my pain and suffering. Yeah, all of that, right? Okay. No, the drink package. Exactly. That drink package will get your money. Yeah. Because it's so expensive. So I understand where she was thinking. Like, you know what? I'm paying all this money in that drink package. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it, right? I'm getting all of my drinks. Okay, I'm getting every little drop I can get. And baby, she ain't play with no fruity drink. She ain't play with no cocktails. She ain't play with no mixers. She said, give me the hard tequila, baby. Give me straight shots. Pow, pow, pow. She was pounding away, honey. She said, give me what I want. I want to get lit quick. Okay, all of that, right? Okay, so we're asking, when does fun become a liability, right? When does fun become a liability? Because you know what, like I said, we on a cruise ship. Baby, we done left all our cares behind because whatever happening at home is going to happen at home, right? Okay? The ship, the horn is blowing. Baby, we electric sliding, tootsie rolling. Okay, doing the wobble. Honey, we having a good time as we sailing away from port, right? They start passing out the champagne. They passing out the drinks. Okay, everybody pouring up. Okay, you having a wonderful time because you done paid your money for these drink packages, right? Okay, the drinks are flowing. Okay, everybody feeling light. Okay, you're feeling like, hey, you know what? I normally stop at maybe 2 or 3 or 4 drinks, but I'm on this cruise, honey, and I'm fitting to get lit. Okay, I'm fit to have me a good old time, right? So accountability, responsibility can get a little blurry, right? You're not thinking clearly. Your mind is a little foggy. Okay, your judgment may be off. Okay, right? You say, hey, I'm on vacation. You know, if I get a little tipsy, if I get a little drunk, okay, you know, if I get a little sick, oh well, I'm on the cruise. I'm gonna be okay, right? Right? Okay? But what happens, okay, in the case of Miss Diana here, what happens if someone gets hurt, right? If someone gets hurt while on the cruise ship and they're using their drink package, right? Okay, and they're like, hey, you know, I'm protected. All right, they know I can get 15. They're going to keep pouring it up because I'm going to keep tipping. Right, y'all make my drink strong. I'ma keep tipping right. Okay, y'all keep me right. I'ma keep y'all right. Right, y'all know you have those favorite bartenders that you like to go to, but like, he make good drinks right here. He keep the party going. Go down to the second level. Go down to the 5th level. Right, and the bartender there, ask for him, ask for her. They don't keep you right. Right, so you got those certain bartenders that are heavy-handed when they pouring, right? And you make sure you taking care of them. You're tipping them because they taking care of you, right? So does responsibility and accountability, is it getting blurred? Is it going out the window with that, right? Okay? It could be. It could be, right? Because her vacation turned into a courtroom battle, right? So let's get into what happened. What happened? Okay? Her name is Deanna. Deanna Sanders says she was served over a dozen tequila shots, y'all. Over a dozen, right? Now, so in my mind, even though you got a 15 drink package, okay, is there still a rule where if the bartender or the server sees that you are so intoxicated that they're supposed to cut you off, right? Is that rule still a rule when you're on a cruise ship? Because you know, if you're at a bar in your city, in your town, wherever you're at in your state, right? They have a rule because they don't want you to go and drink and drive, right? So they don't want you to go get keys and go out there and hurt somebody, because they would be liable if you got in a car accident and you left the bar, okay, left the event after them serving you and serving you, seeing that you were severely intoxicated, right? They will be liable if you went and hurt somebody. Does that rule still apply when you're on a cruise ship? Should that rule still apply if you're on a cruise ship? You're not driving anywhere on the cruise ship, right? It's not like you're going to go and get in a car. It's not like you're going to go get on a boat and, go out there in the water, because you're in the middle of the ocean, right? You're in the middle of the ocean. So you're not going to hurt anybody in the ocean. You're not going to be able to hurt anybody on the road. However, you still, apparently, as Miss Diana has shown, you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself by being intoxicated, right? So maybe they need to have more training with their servers. Like, I know y'all want to get these tips and everything, but y'all gonna have to be more responsible when you see the signs of these passengers overly intoxicated, right? You got to know to cut them off. But like, for your safety, we got to cut you off, right? Okay. She said she became visibly, she said visibly intoxicated, right? So when we hear visibly intoxicated, right? Y'all seen the people at the bars and y'all seen the people at the parties when they are visibly intoxicated. They're falling, right? They can't stand up straight. They're slurring the words, okay? They are talking loud, right? They're laying all over the counters. They're falling down, okay? Just a mess, right? Okay, she said she was visibly intoxicated, okay? Blacked out, so nobody seen her. Like, maybe she didn't have nobody with her. Maybe she was solo. They need to limit the amount of drinks. Marina Latrina, boom. Boom. That's what I'm thinking. With $300,000 going to a passenger, this could be something that's going to start hurting these drink packages, right? And it may not be unlimited anymore where you're getting these 15, because if somebody's hurting themselves, shooting them back like that, okay? She said traumatic brain injury, a bruised back, okay? Concussion, headaches, a bruised tailbone. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. She could have broke her neck. She could have broke her neck. She could have broke her neck falling down those flight of steps, right? She said she literally blacked out from the time she got her last drink at the bar to her stumbling about, okay, the cabin floor. She entered somewhere, a restricted area where she was not even supposed to be, and ended up down the stairwells of a restricted area only for crew members, right? So who did she encounter after she left the bar? Carnival Cruise Lines didn't provide any video after she left the bar, right? That part is a blank. Okay, there's some missing footage out here. She doesn't know what happened to her. She says she blacked out. She don't know what happened to her between leaving the bar and her ending up waking up at the bottom of the stairwell. How long she was down there, we don't know. Who saw her? We don't know. Did something happen to her down there? We don't know. Is Carnival trying to cover themselves? Maybe. Maybe a crew member saw her and walked past her, didn't want to deal with her. Or did they approach her and something happened? It's a lot of questions. It's a lot of questions, right? Okay, she fell down a restricted stairwell that was only for crew members, right? Okay, the injury. She had so many injuries, right? She had head trauma, right? She had a possible traumatic brain injury. She had back pain. She had bruising all over her back. She had a bruised tailbone. Okay, she had headaches. Okay, all over her body, right? Aching. All because she did not take responsibility for her drinking. And also, the servers didn't recognize that she was severely inebriated and that she was too intoxicated to continue to keep taking those shots like that, right? Like I said, she did all of these shots in an 8-hour window, right? That's insane to me. That's insane. Now, people say they can knock them back. They say they can knock them back. Say the tolerance is high. They can knock them back, right? However, with lawsuits, okay, and judgments like this, like Marina Latrina say, they're gonna have to start limiting these drink packages. They're gonna have to start limiting them, right? Okay, so according to her, it was a lot of confusion about what actually happened. Said when she approached the crew members, as about how she ended up at the bottom of the floor or the bottom of the stairwell, they were so confused. She said they were treating her like a criminal, right? Letting her know like, oh, she broke the rules. She didn't handle her liquor correctly. She was the one supposed to be responsible. And when she tried to get video of what happened, they shut down. Okay, they was like, in the discussion, we only gonna show you but so much. And she was like, okay, where's the video at the stairwell? They didn't want to show it. So what else is on this video? So it's a little suspect, Carnival. I will say that, right? It's a little suspect. Now on Carnival side, they're saying, no, you can't put that blame on us because this is a grown adult, right? This is a grown woman that chose to order that unlimited drink package, that read the fine print on the drink package that says you can get up to 15 drinks in a day if you would like. I never saw anyone drink on or any of the cruises I was on, or anyone drunk on any of the cruises I was on. Exactly, Marina Latrina. Yeah, I've never seen somebody so drunk and out of their mind and like blacking out and they got to hold them up. I've never seen anybody like that. I feel like when, as adults, when we're on those cruises, number one, we in the middle of the ocean, right? I don't want to be so drunk that I flip off the balcony, right? In my mind, I be thinking about stuff like that. I don't want to trip. I have these, we know like to get balcony rooms. I don't want to trip and mistakenly flip off my balcony and end up in the ocean. No, ma'am. No, sir. I don't want to be so intoxicated. I'm thinking I'm climbing up steps, but I'm actually climbing up the railing, honey, and then mess around and flip off. I don't want to be that intoxicated. Like I said, we are in the middle of the ocean. There's nothing around us. I'm getting too sick. If I give myself alcohol poisoning, right? Yeah, there's crew members, there's doctors on the ship, but there ain't no doctors back home. You see what I'm saying? They might be limited. It might be limited on what they can do. No, I don't want to experience that, right? So, but that's not to say there wasn't. Exactly. Right. Now, they could have been, right? They may have just said, okay, take me to my room, right? Come on, crew. Y'all get me to my room. Let me lay out for a minute. Let me sleep it off, right? Y'all bring me some water, some coffee. Let me sober up. Hi, Glam Decor. Thank you so much, Queen, for coming on in. Make sure you like, comment, and share your girl out. Yeah, so we're talking about the $300,000 settlement here that Carnival Cruise Line was ordered to pay their passenger for falling down a flight of steps because they were intoxicated. Yeah, $300,000, right? So Carnival said, no ma'am, no ma'am. She failed to control herself. Number one, she's 45 years old. She is not an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old. This is a grown adult, right? Number two, she is a nurse, okay? She knows what alcohol can do to the body, right? Okay? She is in the healthcare industry. She knows what is happening, right? Number three, She knows her limit. As a 45-year-old woman, you know when you have reached your limit. Okay, you either start getting woozy, okay, you start feeling real good, your eyes start closing, your speech starts slurring, your arms get heavy, you can't walk, you can't see, okay, it's hard to walk around. Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely, Glam. Yeah, you are grown, okay? You are not a young teenager to where you may not know because you're first time experiencing drinking alcohol or in a new environment. You are 45 years old, right? Okay, they said she should have taken control of herself and knew to put a limit. Even though she did buy that unlimited drink package where she can drink 15, that doesn't mean that she could have handled 15 drinks in an 8-hour period, because that is a lot. Can they appeal? Hi, Killer Dog. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on in. Make sure you like, comment, and share your girl out. Yes, so Carnival can appeal. So I did see that they do not agree with what the jury decided with that $300,000 settlement. So Carnival said they will appeal. The jury said that Carnival is at 60% at fault, right? Because they should have seen the warning signs with her. They should have seen she was severely intoxicated, inebriated. The staff should have been trained to see the signs, right? They should have put a stop to serving her tequila shots, over 12, 13, 14 tequila shots in an 8-hour window. They should have seen it. Despite her tipping well, because I'm sure she was tipping to keep them drinks pouring, right? Instead of them looking at the money that they were receiving, they should have said, for her safety, we need to put a stop on her. Yes, she probably would have been mad, angry, like, y'all can't tell me what my limit is. I paid for 15. I'm going to drink all 15. Well, ma'am, your body cannot handle 15. Your body cannot handle 15, right? So they said 60% of the blame is on Carnival and 40% is on her because she should be in a responsible adult, right? Okay. So the jury was kind of in the middle. They kind of was in the middle on that, right? They really was. Okay. Was she at the same bar for 8 hours? Glam. So that's a good question. I don't think she was at the same bar for 8 hours. Now, because if she was, like we were talking about earlier, you know, when you're in your city at a bar, the bartender is supposed to recognize when you've had too much. And they're supposed to stop you from drinking, because if you go out there, get in your car, get in an accident, and hurt somebody, the bar, the company, the business, the bartender, they're liable because they did not stop you from drinking, right? So I'm thinking that's where that 60% is coming in, because even though she wasn't at that same bar, because you got so many bars you can go to on the cruise, as you're going from bar to bar, the bartender still should have seen at the new bar, this lady is gone. This lady is lit. This lady can barely walk. Why are we still serving her tequila shots? Right? What? What in the world? That might set a standard as far as drink wise. Boom, Killer Dog. Exactly. Right. Marina Latrina brought that up as well. She said they're going to start limiting these drinks. Okay? Because you can buy these drink packages where you can get 15 drinks in a day for your whole cruise. You can drink 15 shots a day if you want. If you want, you can do that. Like I said, 2 to 3. Baby, I'm woozy. I'm already feeling it. Sometimes those bartenders are heavy-handed, and I cannot go all day with it, right? There's no way. They supposed to have stopped serving her. There you go, Marina Latrina. I agree. I think they saw and she was tipping really well. She was spending that money. And she probably was like, keep them drinks flowing. Keep them drinks heavy-handed. And I'll make sure I put some good money in y'all pocket. And the bartender was like, bet. Here you go. Cheers. Toast it up. Okay. She was having her a grand old time. Yeah. She was having her a grand old time. Right? Okay. So they, like I said, that jury was kind of split on that, because they should have stopped. They saw she was inebriated. They saw she was intoxicated, but they kept on going. And it was like, I'm fitting to get these good tips out this lady because she paying good money. We heard she was on level 5 and she was tipping old girl real good. And I'm fitting to get this money too. And that's how they get their money, with those tips. Some people can handle drinks differently. Exactly, Glam. Okay, and then being 45, she grown now. She grown. And a nurse, she know. She know how alcohol affects her. I'm sure she done been to many events. She's been to many parties. If you're choosing unlimited, you're a drinker. You're a drinker. If you're choosing unlimited with 15, you're a drinker. You are a drinker, and you know how you drink, right? But if you're on a cruise, you're basically home, right? Look, Killer Dog, there you go. See, now that's my question on that as well. You're not technically driving anywhere. I'm not fitting to get off the cruise ship in the middle of the ocean and drive a jet ski or drive a boat or nothing like that, right? I'm being driven, okay? I got a designated driver. So can I not get lit? Can I not get lit, right? Can I not? That's a question. However, cruise lines are going to have to think about it here, because no, she can't hurt anybody else technically, but she can hurt herself because she fell down all those flights of steps. And like I said, she had traumatic brain injury. She had a bruised tailbone. She had concussions. She had backaches. She had headaches. Okay, she had all these bruises. She could have broke her neck. Then I think another layer to that was Carnival Cruise Line did not show a part of the video where she was down at the bottom of the steps in a restricted crew area, and they cut the tape to where she didn't know what happened to her as she was blacked out. Did somebody see her? Did she end up down there because she fell down the steps? What happened to her? So there's some questions. It's very questionable about that as well. Yeah, facts. Yeah, Killer Dog, facts. Yeah. Okay. And with this decision, Marina Latrina said it. Everybody gonna Glam, Killer Dog. With this $300,000 decision, is this gonna start changing how cruise lines do their drink packages? Right? Are they gonna do away with that 15 drink limit? Are they gonna start saying, you know what, it's getting too risky now. Now I can't even trust y'all to govern yourselves. Okay, you can't even take care of yourself, so I'm gonna have to govern you on myself. So I'm gonna reduce it down. Okay, or are they gonna have to train their staff to really say, y'all gonna have to take a look at these passengers and say they are intoxicated, they are drunk, they gotta get cut off. Y'all don't want to do it. You don't want to make them mad. You don't want to disrupt the fun in the party, but you gotta cut them off, because they can hurt themselves out here. It definitely is if it sticks. Yeah, Killer Dog. Yeah. Okay. It could really hurt the cruise industry. Think about how many people saw that old girl got awarded $300,000. Now, like I said, Carnival Cruise Line can appeal. However, the jury said, yeah, they need to go ahead and run her a little check. They need to run her a check, because somebody should have stopped it. All 8 hours and nobody saw this lady was out of her mind, blacking out, falling all over the place, and y'all just kept on giving this lady drinks in an 8-hour period. She's by herself at that, like nobody's around her. Y'all didn't think about this lady's safety, like y'all supposed to be taking care of her. Nobody didn't think about this lady. She not older, but she grown. You see what I'm saying? And she's by herself. She's a woman. Ain't nobody thought about her. Y'all just thinking about that cash she was putting out there, right? Yeah. They're responsible. They are responsible for your safety. That's insane. Glam. Yeah, right? Okay, so now they got to start thinking about, this may not be a one passenger issue, right? Okay, it may be a whole total system overload we got to start thinking about, right? Do we need to get rid of the unlimited drink packages? Okay, maybe some people can handle it, but everybody who orders the unlimited drink package cannot handle 15 shots of tequila in a day. Like, come on, be for real. Who can handle 15 15 shots of tequila in an 8 hour, not in 24 hours, right? We say in a day, right? She did it in an 8 hour window. She was throwing them back. She was throwing them back, right? Okay, so they got to start thinking about unlimited drink packages. What can we do to maybe, if you want a 15 drink package instead of 8 hours, you might have to do 24 hours, right? Okay, y'all might have to do 24 hours, right? Yeah, so you might have to do 24 hours. Okay, are they going to have to start putting restrictions? Are they going to have to say, you know what, maybe you can do a shot every 2 hours, right? Let it marinate, come down a little bit, right? Okay, you can't be doing shot. Yeah, you can't do that no more. You can't do that. Like you said, she's a grown woman at the end of the day. Kill a dog, she's a grown woman. So she knows her limits. She knows how much she can take at one time, right? She knows how much she can drink. And if she wants to do 3, 4, 5, in a 5 hour window, she can, but then you got to know when to stop. Okay? They say you got to look at the system. Also, the servers, the big part of their money, how they get paid, is tips. Right? They saying that the reason why they didn't pay attention to the signs is that because they rely heavily on tips when you're working on these cruise ships, right? The pay ain't all that. You're paying all that when you're working on a cruise ship. Now, with cruise ship workers, they're working 7 days a week. They work 7 days a week on a cruise ship. They are rarely off, right? Okay, you should be responsible for your own drinking. That's right, Glam. You are grown. You are grown. Children are not on this ship drinking. It's adults, okay? And you should be responsible. No one should have to. Exactly, Glam. That's right. No one should have to. Now they're saying the servers should be paid a good wage, right? Which I agree with that. They should be paid a good wage and not rely on the passengers' tips, okay, to make good money. Because they may say, you know what, this lady is gone out her mind. This lady don't need no more drinks. She is slobbering. She is all over the place. She is falling out. She passing out. This lady don't need no more drinks. Okay, she barely can stand up. She barely can keep her eyes open. I'm not fitting to give her no more drinks. Even though she tipping real good. She tipping real good. I'm not fitting to give her no more. All right. Because I don't need it, because I've already gotten my pay from the cruise line. So she was still tipping while she was drunk. Kill a dog, baby. Listen, she was like, run it up, right? Run it up. I got you. And you know what she was doing? Just giving it out. Tipping good. Tipping real good. Yeah, the word done got round the ship. Miss Diana, baby, she is taking care of the servers. She said, y'all take care of me, I'll take care of you. Miss Diana was lit, and she was taking care of everybody, and everybody was taking care of her. She was drinking real good. Okay? Y'all make sure y'all take care of me now. She probably was on that ship by herself, having a good old time, right? She's got a stressful job as a nurse. Okay? She's got stressful family life, and she was like, I'm going on this cruise by myself, and I just want to have a good time. I know they're going to take care of me, and I just want to let loose. Okay? Get her drunk and get paid, basically. That's it, Killer Dog. Yeah. Welcome. Do it like Desi. Thank you so much, Queen, for coming on in. Like, comment, and share your girl out. Hi, Pitts Live. Thank you so much for coming on in, Queen. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do it like Desi. Thank you so much. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, get her drunk, and let's keep getting these tips. Look, a lot of people do it. Right? If you take care of me, I'm gonna keep tipping y'all real good, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's a party environment. Y'all been on these cruises and everybody is having a good time. Shot. Well, people is cheering, and then they buying their drinks. The drinks is flowing. They having a grand old time, right? Okay, and she's got the ultimate drink package. She got the unlimited 15 drinks. And baby, she said, I don't want no basics. I don't want no mixers. I don't want no watered down drinks. I want the shots straight. She drunk nothing but shots, tequila, straight through. Straight through. Yeah. All of that, right? Okay? All of that. Okay? So the question is, does the Carnival cruise line, basically all of the cruise ships, do they encourage overconsumption? Do they encourage it? Right? Is is that something that they're going to have to change, right? Because if you're telling people 15 drinks and you talking about tequila shots, you have to know that some people can't handle that. You just can't. Some people just cannot handle 15 shots of liquor in an 8-hour period, right? Imagine if she tried to do it quicker than that. If she tried to do it quicker than that. She didn't do it in a 24-hour period. She did it in an 8-hour period. Straight shots of tequila, right? Yes, they encourage it. Yeah, do it like they do, because it's a party atmosphere. Drink, drink, drink. When I was on Virgin Voyages, we were like, gone back, gone back, gone back, gone back, gone back. You mess up with counting numbers. Something simple. You mess up counting numbers, you got to take a shot. I said, nah, anything, any kind of little game. It was all about drinking, right? Any game. We was at the restaurant playing games. You mess up, you drinking shots. You drinking shots, right? So it is about encouraging overconsumption, right? Because had I not been playing the game, had I not been in that environment, would I been taking shots like that? No. But I'm in the party atmosphere. It's lit. We having a good time. We high-fiving, right? We having a good time. Okay? She was twisted out of her mind then. She was. She really was, Killer Doll. She really was. Yeah, she was gone. She said she blacked out. She said she was visibly intoxicated. She knew that part. She said they knew it too. But they kept giving her the shots. They kept giving her straight tequila. Nothing else. Straight tequila. Okay? So the question is it an environment that says expose it, right? Keep pushing the liquor. Keep pushing the alcohol on the people, right? Because if the companies are responsible for what you consume, okay, are they responsible if you over consuming as well and hurt yourself? So listen, it's 60-40. Were they responsible? Because if they are supplying you the alcohol, are they responsible if you make sure you only drink a certain amount, right? Are they supposed to be responsible to watch how you're drinking, watch how much your intake is, right? Those bartenders, those servers, they're supposed to be watching that. Okay? So it's probably going to be something happening with these drink packages, y'all. We're going to have to stay tuned on these drink packages, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be an overhaul on that, because these cruise lines do not want to start getting sued left and right. Left and right, just like I said, the jury said, give her $300,000. Say y'all 60% to blame and she 40% because she grown. She can take care of herself to a point, but if you keep giving it to her, like I said, her responsibilities are blurred. Her accountability is blurred because she's already intoxicated, but you keep feeding it to her because she's handing out money, right? So you're pushing it on her, and because her responsibility, her accountability is down. She don't know what's going on at this point. After shot number 10, she gone. To be drunk and seasick sounds horrible. Do it like Desi. Yeah, no. No. That is not a good combo at all. Glam Decor, I don't think she was noticeably stumbling, falling down, and they still served her. You think so? Now, see, Glam, I don't think so. I don't think if she was falling out of her chair, I don't think if she was slurring her words to that point that they would continue to serve her. I'm thinking what had happened was, sometimes, if you sitting down drinking, you come and stand up, that thing rush and come at you real fast, and you're like, whoo, you know what, let me go to my room, because I done too much. I think she she was doing too much and tried to get back to her room. But when you're on those cruise ships, you get turned around real fast because it's a left, right, left, up, down, go down 2 flights, then go to the elevator in the middle. Because if you go down too far, you're going to end up on the wrong side of the ship. I think she got turned about. And I think she probably just flipped, tripped, and ended up down at the bottom of that stairwell. And she probably hit her head going down the steps on her way down. And a simple thing like that. I don't think that she was too inebriated, but she was too much gone to catch herself from falling. I think she fell down those steps because she tripped and went down them like that. Okay. Yeah, I can't see that either. Yeah, Pitt's life. Yeah, I don't think they would actually do anybody like that. I really wouldn't think they would do that. Keep serving her over and over, right? Okay. So you start to think, who has the responsibility, right, to look after grown people when they're drinking? Is it the cruise line, or should you take responsibility and accountability for yourself, right? Okay. So like I said, the jury said 60% is Carnival's fault and 40% hers, right? Okay. So this is how they said why Carnival was at fault. And they said, did they overserve her alcohol? Do y'all think they overserved her alcohol for her to black out? She said she blacked out. Okay, at least make sure she gets back to her cabin safely, especially if she see her drunk like that. Now, there you go, killer dog. Now, because y'all supposed to be watching out for me now, at least have a server, somebody on the ship that see that I'm intoxicated like that. Help me back to my room so I can get back safe. Because she said once she fell down the steps, the footage ends. That's where Carnival did not release the footage to see what happened to her when she fell down those steps. She said it was something odd and strange. She was like, did somebody approach her? She's like, how did I get down to these bottom of the steps? How long was I down there for, right? Maybe they should have a punch card for every drink you have to present. Do it like this. Yeah, that's right. Punch cards. Digital. You can have the digital wristband, right? Every time you get a drink, okay, it can keep count of how many drinks you're at. If you're at drink number 10, the server should start to look at you physically and be like, okay, let me look at the signs. All right, is she stumbling? Is her eyes going low? Is she falling backwards? Is she slurring? Okay, let me take a look at her and see, do we need to cut her off? And then get with management and say, okay, this lady right here is at drink number 10. She been drinking all day, straight shots. Look at her. Look at her tab. Look what she's doing. We're gonna have to put a stop to it, right? It's thousands of passengers on a ship. It is. How can you keep up with thousands of passengers and their drinking habits? That's a hard thing to ask. That's a hard thing to ask. You're asking servers to check all of these people who have drink packages, right? To make sure that they're not over consuming. That is a hard ask. That really is. And they're supposed to be working fast, filling drinks, cleaning, okay, making the people happy. They're doing all the songs. It's a lit atmosphere, right? They're singing, they're clapping, they're dancing. They got routines, okay? They're trying to keep the conversations going. They're trying to get your drinks. They're trying to please the people. On top of that, you're telling me I got to make sure that I babysit you, that I got to watch how much you're drinking. I got to read signs of people being intoxic and making sure you don't overdo. That's a lot. Liability as an employee is better than the cruise line. There you go. Do it like Desi, because I don't want to pay out no more $300,000. I don't. Okay, true indeed. They shouldn't have to babysit as well. No, they shouldn't have to do that, killer dog. They know how many drinks you get. It's in the system. Pet's life. Boom. There you go. It's in the system, because you should be able to scan. Okay, you should be able to scan how many drinks, because you only get 15. You can't go over. You can't go over to 15 if you do the unlimited drink package. So they are watching how many you get. But the thing is, are you watching if they are overly intoxicated? Are you stopping people from going too far, like this lady did, right? Are they over serving the alcohol, right? Okay, are you going too far? Yes, that's terrible to say, but a limit will help. Yeah, do it like Desi. Okay, a limit will help. And I'm thinking they're going to have to start looking at these unlimited drink packages. Going to have to start pulling back, because there ain't too many more 300,000 lawsuits they can keep going with, right? Alcohol is expensive, very expensive. Do it like Dizzy. Yeah, alcohol is expensive. They scan your card every time and it will pop up what number drink you are on. There you go, Pits Life. So they saw that lady was on drink number 14 and they still were serving her straight shots of tequila. Like I said, she wasn't doing no mixers. She wasn't doing no mixed drinks. She wasn't doing nothing weak. She was doing straight tequila. 14 in an 8-hour window. So they saw. They saw what she was getting, right? Okay, so are they over serving people? Did they overserve her? I would say, yeah, they overserved her in this scenario, right? Okay, like we talked about, there's a lot of laws in place that prohibit you serving visibly intoxicated individuals, right? But do those laws still apply on a cruise ship? Okay, does that still apply, right? Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Do it like Desi. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, alcohol is very expensive, right? Okay, put some same laws that are in the city, same laws you should have on the cruise ship, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah, absolutely, right? Okay. Are they over serving alcohol? I think they are. Okay. Was she visibly intoxicated, right? Was she visibly intoxicated? Okay. Was she visibly intoxicated? She said she was. She said she was visibly intoxicated. She said the staff saw that she was out of it, right? That she was slurring her words. Okay. She claimed she was, right? If she was, then technically the service should have been stopped. Okay. Surveys would be good for a cruise too, the way they can get an idea for guests. Oh, that sounds good. Do it like Desi. Yeah, to see what they would think about it, right? Yes, where is security walking around? Boom, do it like Desi. Boom, where's security, right? Okay, where was security during this time point? Okay, was they surveying people? I know it's a lot of people on these cruise ships, and you know when they have the nightclub, the security in the nightclubs a lot of the time. As I know when we was in them clubs and stuff like that, the security was deep in the nightclub. Now, if it's hip hop night, they in the nightclub deep on hip hop night. But yeah, security should have been manning the bars, you know, taking a look at people, making sure they weren't doing too much, right? Yeah, absolutely. Hello, who are you talking about? Hi, Deneen. Thank you so much for coming on in, Queen. We are talking about the $300,000 settlement that Carnival was ordered to pay a passenger. She was intoxicated and she fell down a flight of steps, right? And said she had traumatic brain injury. She had bruising of a tailbone. She had a headache, concussion. She had back bruises. All kind of things was happening to her, right? She got awarded $300,000, okay, because she was intoxicated and fell down a flight of steps. And so we're trying to say, is Carnival really responsible, or should she been responsible for herself, right? Okay. Yeah, that's for your people though. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, where is security walking around? They should have been at the bar because that's where it's needed. At the bar, making sure people are not overdoing it, right? Okay? Making sure. She claimed she was visibly, that was her words. She said she was visibly intoxicated. Do I believe her? I probably so. 14 straight shots of tequila, I'm thinking you are. To me, yeah. But like I said, she was tipping real good. So they wasn't stopping the service for her. They wasn't. Now, if she was intoxicated, that's where Carnival messed up at. They should have stopped serving her at that point. Okay, 15 was the limit. Glam, 15 is the limit. Mind you, 15 in a 24-hour period. She did all of this in an 8-hour window. 8-hour window. She was already getting to her limit in an 8-hour window. So what happened if she died though? There you go. Do it like Desi. There you go. If she would have broke her neck and died, who's responsible? Who's responsible? Because she couldn't have told her side of the story at that point, right? Is Carnival responsible for that? That's a good question because the family's going to say, Carnival, y'all should have stopped her from drinking, right? 300,000. That's it. Yeah, because Desi, she not Desi, but Miss Deneen, the jury said she was responsible for 40% because she's supposed to be accountable for her own alcohol consumption, right? She knew she was intoxicated. She knew she was getting too far in. She knew she couldn't handle that many drinks in an 8 hour period, but she kept going anyway. Right? She's 45. She grown, and she's a nurse in healthcare. So she knows the effects of alcohol on her, right? Okay. However, she's supposed to be stopped by the servers, be stopped by the bartender when she goes too far. I like to see that clause. Yeah, do it like Desi. Yeah. They said 60-40. 60-40. It was almost 50-50. Yeah, both of them responsible. I think if they would have got the 50-50, she might not would have got nothing. Because I'm thinking the 300,000 was for her medical bills. For all the medical treatment she had to get done at the hospital because she had so many injuries from that fall. Yeah. And then we also asked, do drink packages encourage excess? It does, because I'm trying to get my money's worth. If I got a 15 drink package, right, where I get 15 drinks a day and you paid thousands of dollars for it, you're trying to make sure you get every drop you can, right? So you're trying to meet that limit as best you can, right? Yeah, you trying unlimited access, right? Psychologically, you're trying to say, you know what, I'm trying to get my money's worth. Even though you shouldn't try to push it to that limit, because you all know how much you can drink at one time, right? Because 15 shots of tequila is a lot. That's a lot. But in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get my money's worth. I already dropped $1,000 on this drink package. I'm going to get every drop. And I ain't wasting it on no sodas. I ain't wasting it on no Kool-Aid. I ain't wasting it on no weak drink. I want the good stuff. Right? I want to be lit this whole trip until you get hurt, right? And it's a problem. Okay. Another issue they said that Carnival was at fault is because servers are incentivized to keep drinks coming, right? Okay. You keep tipping, they incentivize to keep the drinks coming. Keep the party going. Keep the party going, baby. You see this green, baby, it's gonna be in your pocket. You keep me lit. Come on, bring the drinks. Her friends left her. They knew their limit, it seems. I don't know if she had anybody with her. I think she was on a solo cruise. She was by herself. And she took a quick solo cruise by herself. I don't think she had anybody because nobody checked on her. She didn't have anybody with her. So I think she was on a solo cruise by herself. And I think she was by herself, and so she was relying on the staff, people to make sure she was okay and watch out for her. But they did not. They did not, right? Yeah, yeah. 50-50. What else would she say? Exactly. Yeah, Glam. Yeah, I think it's 50-50. I think that the cruise was supposed to watch out for her, and I think that she was supposed to watch out for herself as well. She knew her limits. You're on there by yourself, so you kind of got to have some accountability. Be like, I can't show out too much. I ain't got nobody to say, girl, that's enough. Pull back. You're doing too much, right? Or we can help you get back to the room. You are by yourself. Anything can happen if you black out. Anything can happen, right? But servers are incentivized. Keep the party going, right? Okay. And because they're getting so much good tip money, they're not thinking about, oh, we need to stop this lady from drinking. Because if we stop her, she's going to get mad for the rest of the cruise. Because this night one, she's going to get mad for the rest of the cruise. And then she's not going to tip us no more. She's going to be mad at us because she'll be like, oh, I can't come to this bar no more. I don't like to give nobody nothing to drink. Baby, they like to cut you off here. That gonna mess up your tip money from other passengers. What? Yeah, child, they cut you off. Don't come to this one. This bartender right here, they don't play. They strict. Yeah, such dangerous behavior. Very much so. Do it like Desi. Very much so. Right. Yeah. Yes, especially alone. Do it like Desi. Especially alone. Yeah, it can be dangerous. Very, very dangerous because you don't know who's watching you. Okay? You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who is one of the crew members on the ship. You don't know what their motives are. Maybe the bartender wants to get you inebriated. Maybe the bartender wants you intoxicated, right? They, oh, we're going to help you to your room and help you to the crew members' restricted stairwell. Because you gone. You don't know what's happening. You don't know who helping you to your room. You don't know where you gone. All right? Showing out for her post. Exactly. Okay? I wonder if she was streaming. Probably. You never know. You never know. But she may not have, because she said she wanted video of what happened. And Carnival provided her video up to her falling down the steps, and that's when it stopped. They didn't provide any more video after that. And that's why she said, well, what happened to me? Did somebody see me at the bottom of those steps? Did somebody help me to those steps? Like, how did I even get over here? So it's a little strange with Carnival not wanting to give out the video as well. So maybe they didn't want to, incriminate themselves any more than what's already out there, because they already said y'all should have made sure that lady stopped drinking, right? Okay, so maybe if the servers are getting paid more, they're not going to be so reliant on the tips on the cruise ship, right? Okay, did staff monitor her condition? Did they monitor her? Did they even pay attention to what was going on? Did they even care? Okay. Right? They have a duty to care. Okay? They have to make sure in those environments that people are not overdoing it. Did they even do their jobs? Okay? Already have issues with drinking. There you go, Glam. Boom. There you go, Glam. There you go. I believe she already had issues with drinking. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, Glam. She already had issues with drinking. I believe so. She was on that cruise by herself. She already had issues with alcoholism. She already had issues with taking drinks like that. She was by herself. She was trying to get right, trying to get lit. And I think she already had issues with drinking, right? And by her tipping, making sure I smooth things over with the bartenders, they're going to let me continue to drink, right? Because they're going to be like, this lady's spending good money out here. Shoot, we will let her drink. If she want to drink, she can drink. She can handle it, because she probably like, oh yeah, I have parties at my house and we have a good time. This one time I drunk this and I drunk that. It's like, oh yeah, this lady can handle her liquor. She good. You're right. Do it like this. Yeah, didn't think like that. Yep. She already had issues with drinking, right? And so by them, with those unlimited drink packaging, it didn't do her any good. Okay. And then with her tipping, it didn't help the situation at all. Not at all, right? Not at all. So I do believe that the servers, the bartenders, they did not do their duty of care for her, right? They were supposed to be watching and monitoring her. They're trained to look for that. They are trained to look for that and make sure that they don't overdo. But in her situation, I don't think they did it. I believe at number 10, number 9, they should have stopped her. They shouldn't have let her go all the way like that in that 8-hour period. Yep. Cruise where nobody can watch me. I can feed my addiction. Ooh, there you go. There you go. Do it like this. Yeah, you don't have nobody there. Okay, you're not driving. I'm just going to go back to my room after I drink. Do what I got to do. Yeah, that's it. That's a lot of drinks. 15. Deneen, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I said, 2 or 3, I'm already woozy. Because I'm like, oh, wait, help me. But 15, I couldn't imagine. If that was her history, they should have been able to get out of that lawsuit. Hard to prove. Do it like Desi. Hard to prove. Is she a home drinker? Okay, she has a reputable healthcare career. She's a nurse. She's a nurse. She's 45 years old, right? She has her license to protect, right? She can't go out that she was overdoing it on a cruise ship like that. Okay, she's got a license to protect. She's a healthcare, and she's a professional out here. So yeah, it's gonna be the cruise line's fault, because she's got her reputation to protect, right? She can't go out here that she was intoxicated like that. Why buy unlimited drinks? Glam, people buy unlimited drinks all the time, right? Because you figure, okay, I'm gonna be on this cruise all day, 24 hours. You mean to tell me I'm only gonna limit myself to what, 2 or 3 drinks a day, be like, okay, I want to drink a mimosa for breakfast. I want to have a drink for lunch. I'm gonna have some wine for dinner. Okay, but what about in between? Okay, with my snack, I want to have a beer. I want to have maybe 2 shots. Okay, they're gonna have the white party later on tonight. I know I want to have 2 glasses of champagne for that. So now we up to 8. We up to 8. We're up to 8 just from different events, right? Different events. I probably want to have a drink when we do bingo. I want to have a little drink doing playing bingo, right? So it starts to add up. It starts to add up very quickly. And so people say, you know what? Let me go ahead and do 15 because I'm going to be drinking all day because they have so many events lined up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Or like the tech. Yeah. I guess shuffleboard wasn't where it's it wasn't where it's at. No. They might have been playing shuffleboard, do it like this, and they was baby two-stepping, shuffling, and had their champagne and the shots all the way down at the shuffleboard. Listen, every event was a drink in the hand. It sounded like every event had a shot was attended on this cruise ship. Yeah, every event, right? Okay, and then you have to ask, okay, if it was a restricted area that she fell at, right? Okay, like someone said, where was security? Did they not have security at the stairwell? If it was a crew only access and it was supposed to be restricted, how restricted was it if she fell down it so easily, right? Who was supposed to be manning it? Who was supposed to be watching it? If I'm doing unlimited drinks, soda on crushed ice smoothies, I'm getting that stuff too. See, right? So I'm mixing it, right? I'm getting sodas, I'm getting teas, I'm getting coffees. But some people are not like that. Some people are, I'm not wasting my $1,000 on those sodas and teas. If I'm paying this amount of money, I want alcohol, right? I want to be lit, gone, out my mind. That's the only thing my money is going to is alcohol. That's the only thing I'm buying with this here drink package. I'm not thinking about no soda and no tea. So a lot of people think like that when they have all of these events lined up. They want to have their alcoholic beverages in hand. Yeah, so I can see how the unlimited drink package can be a thing for people. Most definitely, I can see it because of the all the different events you have lined up. It can start to add up to where you be like, yeah, I better get 15 because I got so much going on. I want to have a drink in the hand at every event. Every event. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, did they provide medical attention quickly? Like I said, it was a question in the video. Once she fell down the steps, did somebody see her? Did they walk past her? Did they not provide medical attention quickly? Was there a lapse in medical attention? It's some questions because Carnival didn't even provide the video, right? They said, oh, we don't have the video of that. What you mean you don't have the video? You got a video of everything else, but you don't have the video where I'm falling down these steps. You don't have that video. You don't have the video of your crew coming to help me. You don't have the video of them giving medical attention to me. You don't have that video of the time frame, right? That's video that's missing. So it's a little iffy for Carnival. Yeah. And to be lit by yourself, that sounds horrible. Yes, do it like Dizzy. You're right. By yourself, you want to turn up and have a good time. You're on a solo cruise and everything. You know, that's a thing, right? Because you're feeling safe. You're feeling safe on a cruise, right? Okay. You know, the people are supposed to be taking care of you. So now you're so intoxicated, your responsibilities are down. You know, you're not feeling like my judgment. You know, I'm not thinking clearly. So you keep going and going and going. But that's very risky on a solo cruise. Very risky. Yeah. I'm saying if you're not a drinker. Glam. Yeah, exactly. If you're not a drinker, yeah, solo cruising, having a good time, all of that, right? But if you're a drinker, you got to be careful. You really got to be careful. She should have made friends. Yeah, do it like Desi. Yeah, she should have been friends, right? Yeah, she should have made some friends on that ship to like, hey, you know what? Let's be accountability partners, right? Okay, we're going to watch out for you. You watch out for us. Let's make sure we take care of each other while we out here. You know how people get at the bar. Like, you watch out for me, I watch out for you, right? All of that. Or found some older people having fun. Yeah, lots of things she could have done to keep herself safe. How are you doing over there, my friend? I'm from Lunda Prince. Oh, thank you so much, Victoria. I appreciate you coming on in. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and share your girl out. And I am doing well. Thank you so much for coming on in. I appreciate you. Right? So yeah, so footage is missing, right? Why wasn't the full footage available? What are you hiding? Right? And I think that played a part in the lawsuit as well, in them ordering the amount of money that they did to her. Why was the footage missing? Why was it missing? Okay. You got missing footage that raises questions, right? Okay. And why wasn't the safety protocols enforced? If she is showing visible signs of intoxicity, okay, why didn't the bartenders, the servers stop serving her? Why did they keep on giving her the drinks if she was visibly, okay, intoxicated? Right? Okay. All of that plays a part in this lawsuit. But Carnival is appealing. Carnival is appealing the lawsuit. They are appealing it here. They say $300,000. Ain't no way. Because if you let this go, imagine what's coming next down the line. Royal Caribbean last year, they had an incident. Somebody was intoxicated, got violent, right? The staff, baby, had to calm him down, fight him, and they had to give him medicine. The staff had to give him medicine to calm him down. He died from the medicine. Stay tuned to that one. Now I'm sure the family's gonna be suing Royal Caribbean next. And Royal Caribbean, they up next. Okay, he died from him acting a fool on the ship. He took the medicine, but he died. Who's responsible? Who is responsible? Right? Well, I know she got hurt, but she glad she didn't fall overboard being that drunk. Boom, Marina Latrina. That's it. I'm glad she didn't fell overboard, because a lot of people be falling overboard. Y'all be hearing those stories. A lot of people be falling overboard. Like I said, they be too drunk. Probably found something else to hide to add to the lawsuit. Yep. I'm sure it was something. You never know. Maybe a crew member saw her and walked past her and didn't help her in a timely fashion. You don't want to add that to it. That probably would have been $1 million easy right there. Didn't a toddler fall over recently? Yeah. Yep. A toddler fell over. A lot of people falling over cruise ships, falling over the balconies, falling off. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Royal Caribbean last year, he like I said, he got violent, too much to drink, started cutting up. The crew had to hold him down, fight him down, but they had to give him medicine to calm him down, but he had a reaction to it and he died. So who's liable for that? They had to give him something because he was acting erratic. What if they didn't give him anything? They were supposed to be subjected to the violence, but he did die. So that's coming up next with Royal Caribbean. So like I said, they're gonna, a lot of rules gonna start changing on these cruise ships with these drink packages. It's too much happening with the alcohol. People cannot handle it. They're mixing it with their medications and everything. It's too much. So yeah, we're gonna have to stay on alert on what's happening out here with the cruise lines. But I wanted to bring this story out here to y'all about the $300K settlement, okay, that Carnival was ordered to pay this passenger for falling down a flight of steps because she was intoxicated. All right, y'all. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I appreciate y'all chiming in with y'all opinions on this story. It was a good time today. I appreciate each and last one of y'all coming on in the room. And I appreciate all of y'all making sure y'all connect with each other. All right, y'all know I'm going to be seeing y'all on these YouTube streets. We'll be back again tomorrow. Right, to see what's going on out here on these YouTube streets in this wild, wild world. All right, y'all. Well, again, my name is Tanya Marie, here with Bold One for Life, where we want you to be unique, be different, but most importantly, just be you. Thank y'all so much for always coming on in the room and blessing your girl with your presence. Is greatly appreciated. I will see y'all later on. Good night, y'all. Good night.